if you're tired of seeing puddles, perhaps even flooding every time it rains on your driveway or in your garden, well, a resin-bound system may be the perfect solution. And that's regardless of how terrible the British weather is right now.
The rain has been relentless.
So let's discuss how a resin-bound system works and why it's the perfect drainage solution for around your home. But first, what is a resin-bound surface? Simply put, it's a mixture of natural aggregates mixed with a high-quality resin binder. Now, the magic happens when these two components are mixed together and laid down onto a surface. Now, unlike non-permeable surfaces like tarmac and block paving, where you need additional drainage installed in order to tackle surface water, with a resin-bound surface, the surface is the drain. That's because there are very tiny, minuscule little gaps between the aggregates, which allow the water to flow straight through it, straight into the ground underneath. So let me show you exactly how it works. Let's say this hose pipe represents a typical rain shower, and a pretty strong one at that. On a solid non-permeable surface like tarmac, all of the water would just pool up. And I actually need this drain which has been installed in order to move the surface water off of the driveway. Without it, I'd start to see puddles forming and potentially even flooding into my garage if the drain overflows, which is certainly a common problem. But now watch what happens when I spray the water on a resin-bound surface. As you can see, the water simply vanishes. No pooling, no standing water, just smooth drainage regardless of where the water is. This is the key benefit of a surface like resin-bound, which is effective water management. Now, in order to ensure that effective water management of a resin-bound surface, there are a couple of things that are super important that need to be done during the preparation process. Here at Rhino, we have a 5-step preparation process, and 2 of those steps include installing a rubber crumb sub-base, which is a mixture of granite stone and rubber. But underneath that, we also compact MOT Type 1 hardcore as a base. Now, both of these surfaces on their own are also permeable, which all obviously helps the water to continually and seamlessly drain through the surface and back into the water table, which is exactly as the system is designed to do. It's the reason why we don't recommend installing resin bound on top of an existing surface like concrete or tarmac, because the water will simply have nowhere to go. In actual fact, for the most part, the success of a resin bound surface is actually based on what's underneath. So whilst the top resin bound surface is of course permeable, if the layers underneath aren't, then you will potentially still experience some puddles and perhaps even flooding if we do see particularly bad weather. Now, our resin-bound system will actually drain water at a rate of 25 litres per square metre per second. So it doesn't really matter how much rain we get, the surface can certainly take it. But not only is this good for your home, it's actually good for the environment too. That's because with the water draining through your surface, it actually reduces the strain on local drainage systems, helping to prevent drains overflowing and even potentially flooding in the neighbourhood if there are enough permeable surfaces installed. And with the effects of climate change being ever more present, and with the flooding that we see in the news, which seems like every few months or so, the more permeable surfaces that are installed in local communities, the lower the risk of flooding that there will be. So much so that the UK government have actually approved resin-bound systems as SUDS compliant, which stands for a sustainable drainage system. And that may be an important factor for you to consider, because the UK government now require you to have planning permission under this set of criteria. And I'm going to quote this off the UK government planning portal, where it states, if the surface to be covered is more than 5 square metres, planning permission will be needed for laying traditional, impermeable driveways that do not provide for the water to run to a permeable area. So if you are looking at a resin-bound permeable system to be installed in and around your home, then be sure to click on the link down in the description below to make an inquiry with us. Alternatively, come and visit us in our Northampton showroom, where you can get a closer look at all of the different colours and see the surfaces in action. And of course, permeability is just one of the benefits of a resin-bound system. So if you do want to know what all of the other benefits are, then be sure to click on that video next. As well, be sure to subscribe to the channel on your way out. With that being said, I'll see you over in the next one.